Deep in the mountains of Colorado's Front Range, there lies a little sliver of old France. Stately, elegant, refined, it once offered haven and sanctuary amidst the clamor of the American mining frontier. Gentlemen, proclaimed its illustrious owner in 1879, I love these mountains and I love America, but you will pardon me if I bring into this community a remembrance of my youth, this little souvenir of Alençon. For a quarter of the 19th century, Louis Dupuy's famed Hôtel de Paris was just that, the sophistication of Normandy rising above the rough and tumble of one of the West's greatest mining rushes. His given name was Adolphe François Gérard, and he was born in Alençon, France, on October 14, 1844. When seminary life proved too confining, he ran away to Paris and apprenticed himself as a cook. But one part of the seminary had taken hold, a fascination with literature and the arts, and it was as a struggling journalist that he found his way first to London and then to New York in 1868. His budding literary career quickly derailed, however, when he was charged with plagiarizing London publications. Abruptly, he joined the United States Army and was assigned to a cavalry unit at Cheyenne, Wyoming. Cheyenne and the sweep of the Great Plains must have seemed far removed from the chateaux of Normandy. The following spring he deserted and made his way to Denver. Henceforth, Monsieur Gérard would be known as Louis Dupuy. Denver was prospering, but the real excitement was in the mountains to the west. Initial gold discoveries up Clear Creek had proven sparse, but silver was about to make the mining camp of Georgetown boom. Louis Dupuy worked in nearby silver mines until the spring of 1873, when he was severely injured by a delayed dynamite charge. During his long convalescence, he seems to have at last resolved his future. Louis Dupuy has rented the building formerly occupied by the Delmonico Bakery. Georgetown's Colorado miner reported in October 1875, refitted and refurnished the house in elegant style, and proposes to keep a first-class hotel and restaurant. The wandering man, who many would later describe as the mysterious Frenchman, was home at last. Here in the Colorado mountains, Louis Dupuy would honor his heritage, even as he obscured his past. The original structure of Louis' Hôtel de Paris was about 1/4 of the eventual size. Patrons entered the dining room directly from the street, and the upstairs contained only 4 guest rooms. But as Georgetown grew, so too did Louis' Hotel and his reputation as a consummate chef and entertaining host. Louis purchased the original property in 1878, and over the next 10 years made 2 major additions, building west in 1882 to add 2 downstairs rooms and 4 guest rooms, and east in 1888 to construct his own bedroom and study and 2 bedrooms upstairs. Spurred on by the construction of the Colorado Central Railroad, Georgetown became the Silver Queen of the Rockies. Tycoons and would-be tycoons all frequented Louis' Hotel to enjoy its plush accoutrements of fine wine, gourmet food, original art, and exceptional standards of comfort. The sample rooms, so called because traveling salesmen could display their wares there, were furnished with the latest styles, including doghead chairs, elaborately carved mantels, paintings in the Hudson River School style, and Wilton carpets. At night, the desks unfolded to convert into beds. Adjustable lounge chairs with beige-patterned corduroy cushions on iron frames were then state-of-the-art, and, of course, Louis had one. The dining room boasted oysters, game, and all the delicacies of the season, graciously served on tables carefully set with Haviland china, silver butter dishes, and castor sets. Tongue-and-groove silver, maple, and black walnut striped floors and the scratch fresco designs on the walls and ceiling evidenced Louis' commitment to fine craftsmanship. Large William Henry Jackson photographs adorned the walls. The spacious kitchen, with its private entrance from Louis' suite, is a testament to the importance Louis placed upon fine food. He seems to have done most of the cooking himself, assisted by his housekeeper, Sophie Galley. Downstairs, the wine cellar still contains wine and cider barrels and Louis's bottle corking machine. Louis's private quarters were for entertaining special guests and housed most of his 2,600-volume library of classical and political literature. Off his bedroom, he installed a private bath, complete with an enamel tub and a gravity flush toilet. The guest rooms on the second floor were large by the standards of the day, with an eye for comfort as well as the practical. By 1893, each room contained a Pullman sink with hot and cold running water, fitted with caliper handle faucets designed to conserve water. Other furnishings, such as convertible sleepers, maximized room space for larger parties. The bedroom above Louis's quarters had a private bathroom, while the other rooms shared a bath at the west end of the hallway. When the nearby McClellan Opera House burned in 1892, Louis stuccoed the hotel's newly exposed exterior west wall to match the rest of the facade, 3 buildings unified several years earlier as one under one roof, and adorned it with a large banner containing the French and American flags. Above it, he placed a statue of Justice atop the parapet. When some confused his hotel with the courthouse, Louis only smiled. Perhaps the most fitting accolade of Louis Dupuy and his elegant hotel was published shortly before his death. Louis Dupuy, eccentric and yet brimming over with kindness, the gentleman, the student, the philosopher, and the cook sans par, wrote the Georgetown Courier, has brought a bit of France and its refinements into the granite slopes and rugged passes of Colorado. Louis died on October 7, 1900, after a 5-week bout with pneumonia. He left the Hotel de Paris to his housekeeper, Sophie Galley. When Sophie died 4 months later, her estate sold the property to Sarah Burkholder, who continued to operate it as a hotel. But by now, the silver boom had waned, and times were tough in Georgetown. The hotel gradually declined to but a glimmer of its grand past and was in danger of irreversible decline. Then, in 1954, the National Society of the Colonial Dames in America in the state of Colorado acquired the venerable property. The dames adopted the Hotel de Paris with a fiery passion that still burns brightly half a century later, not only restoring and preserving the building itself, but also Louis Dupuy's collections of practical furnishings and classical and political literature. The commitment of the dames to preserving this landmark prompted the Colorado Historical Society and other preservation organizations to undertake similar projects in the Georgetown Silver Plume area. These efforts led Congress to designate the Georgetown Silver Plume National Historic Landmark District in 1966 and list the Hotel de Paris on the National Register in 1970. Today, the Hotel de Paris stands as a treasured testament to both a bygone era and the power of preservation. It is a showcase that preserves Louis Dupuy's little souvenir and tells a significant chapter in the history of Colorado and the American West.